We now return to more Theodore tugboat fun from Cubo.
There. I'll put it right over here. That's a good spot to do. Oh, hello. My friend Rob wants me to go on a roller coaster ride with him. You know, roller coasters, way up high. Rob says jumping off this stool will help me get ready. You imagine that you're going over the high end of a roller coaster. Well, it's not my kind of excitement, I'm afraid. But Rob really wants me to go with him. I like Rob, but I don't always like doing the kind of things that Rob likes to do. I guess we're like Emily and Carla, the cool cabin cruiser. Ah, yes, Carla. Carla was a spunky little cabin cruiser. She didn't work, and she was always on holiday, going wherever she liked, whenever she liked. And when she got there, she could do whatever she liked. One morning, just before the work meeting, Carla came over to the Great Ocean dock. Now, it was unusual for another boat to be there for the meeting, but Carla wasn't shy. "Hi, I'm Carla," she said. "Hi, Carla," said Emily. "I'm Emily, and this is Foduck." "Hello, Carla," said Foduck. "4 ducks," said Carla. "Okay. Quack, 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 quack." "I don't find that funny," said Foduck. But Emily laughed. "I get it," she said. 4 ducks. "Actually, it's Foduck," said Foduck with a frown. "My name's George," puffed the largest tug. "Nice to meet you, Georgie Porgy," laughed Carla. "Huh," said George. "Georgie Porgy," said Emily. "That's funny. And this is Hank." "Hello, Honk," said Carla. "Hi," laughed Hank. "Honk," repeated Emily, laughing. "Carla, you're so funny." "Thanks," said Carla. "I'm Theodore," said Theodore. And everyone waited to see what Carla would say about his name. "Hello, Theodore. Nice to meet you," said Carla. "I hope you don't turn out to be a bore." "Be a bore?" said Emily, and she laughed along with Theodore and Hank. "It's so cool the way you make up such great jokes," said Emily. "Carla the cool cabin cruiser, that's me," said Carla. "I've been all over the world, you know." "But so have I," said Emily. "Cool," said Carla. "Let's hang around together. We could be pals." "Great," said Emily, excitedly, and the two began to race their engines. Well, just then the dispatcher turned to begin the meeting. The tugs were glad that the dispatcher didn't seem to mind Carla being there, especially Emily. See, Emily thought Carla was just the kind of friend she'd always wanted. Funny, smart, and so cool. "Good morning," said the dispatcher. "Only 2 jobs today. Foduck, I'd like you to inspect some fire equipment on Rebecca, the research vessel." "Yes, sir," replied Foduck. "George, Theodore, and Hank," continued the dispatcher, "I'd like you all to bring a big container ship in. There may be a storm coming, and I don't want anything to go wrong." Then the dispatcher turned to Emily. "Emily," he continued, "I'll need you if we have bad weather this afternoon, but I don't have anything for you to do this morning." "Great," said Emily. Thank you, sir." "And listen closely to your radios," he said to the tugs. "When the storm comes, I want all boats back to their docks." He looked meaningfully at Carla. "Even cabin cruisers," he said. "Is that clear?" "Yes, sir," said the others as the dispatcher turned away. "Yes, Mr. Dishwasher," called Carla. The tugs looked up quickly, but luckily the dispatcher hadn't heard Carla. "I can't believe you called him the dishwasher," said Emily. Then she laughed. "You, Mr. Dishwasher." The other tugs said goodbye and started out to do their jobs. Emily stayed behind, still chuckling and feeling very silly. "Isn't it great? I have the whole morning off," she said to Carla. "Yeah," said Carla. "Let's go look at the really deep place where the biggest ships come in." "Okay," said Emily. "But we'll have to remember that getting too close to the path where the big ships come in can be very dangerous." "Oh, I know," said Carla. "But it'll be exciting." Well, when they arrived at the deepest part of the harbor, they stopped. In the distance, they could see George, Theodore, and Hank getting ready to bring the big container ship in. Now, the big ships have one path to come into the harbor on, and they can't steer away from it, or even slow down if another boat gets in their way. And that path is marked with a row of marker buoys on either side. Cool, said Carla. Let's cross over to the other side. Oh, we're not allowed to cross in front of a ship that's coming in, said Emily. Oh, come on, said Carla. She's so far away. And with that, Carla scooted right across the path. Come on, Emily, called Carla from the other side. Emily looked carefully, and the container ship was still pretty far away. Are you a scaredy cat or what? Yelled Carla. Now, Emily knew that she shouldn't cross that path, but she really wanted to be Carla's friend, and she figured that, well, there was time to do it safely. So, with one last look, she darted across. Cool, said Carla when Emily got there. Wasn't that exciting? Well, Emily wasn't sure it felt good at all. She could feel her engine pounding. Hey, said Carla, let's go to Rocky Point. I don't know, Carla, said Emily. Rocky Point is pretty far away. But there are these really cool rocks there, said Carla. I'd better check with the dispatcher first, said Emily. Oh, come on, said Carla. Rocky Point isn't that far. Just the other side of the bend past the oil refinery. And if we go now, we can cut in front of the container ship again. Emily looked along the path to the container ship. The ship was a lot closer now. Emily knew that a small boat darting across the path of a big ship could cause a bad accident that could hurt everyone, even the tugs on the job. No, she exclaimed. It's not safe anymore. Oh, you're so boring, cried Carla. Who'd want to be your friend anyway? Then Carla dashed across, right in front of the container ship. She missed the big ship by seconds. Emily heard a loud honk from the container ship, and angry voices from the others. Hey, watch it, said George. Yes, watch it, said Hank. She called me boring. I'm not boring, thought Emily. I should just go meet Carla and prove it. It's the only way I'll ever convince her to be my friend again. And Emily set off. But after thinking about it a while, she stopped. She liked Carla a lot. She was fun and fun to be with. The most exciting boat Emily had ever met. But following her to Rocky Point without asking the dispatcher would mean going against orders. Theodore saw Emily and came out to meet her. Hey, Emily, he called. Haven't you been listening to your radio? Emily had to admit that she hadn't. The harbor is going to be closed because the storm is coming, said Theodore. Emily hoped Carla had heard that. Come on, said Theodore. All boats are supposed to return to the docks. Theodore, am I boring? No, laughed Theodore. Who called you that? Carla, answered Emily. Oh, don't worry about that, said Theodore. You're a really good tugboat. Come on, let's go. Okay, said Emily, a little sadly. Emily took one last look towards Rocky Point, and then followed Theodore in. The tugs started getting ready for the storm, making sure that everything was tied down. I hope we see some interesting lightning, said Vodok. What I like best is the thunder, said Hank. Are you looking forward to the storm, Emily? Asked Theodore. Not really, said Emily. Storms are boring. Boring like me. Well, that didn't sound like Emily at all. The tugs knew that something must be bothering her. But before they could say anything, the dispatcher turned to them. Carla, the cabin cruiser, is missing, he announced. She wanted me to go with her to Rocky Point, said Emily. Maybe she's run into some kind of trouble near there. You and Theodore go down there right away and look for her before the storm comes, said the dispatcher. Yes, sir, said Emily. And off they went. Well, when the tugs arrived at Rocky Point, there was no sign of Carla. Well, where can she be? Asked Theodore. I don't know, said Emily. But feel that wind. The storm is getting closer. Then, just as they were leaving Rocky Point, Theodore happened to look out to the ocean. Hey, that looks like Carla, he exclaimed. What's she doing way out there? I don't know, said Emily. There's no place for a boat like her in a storm. And the two tugs chugged straight out to the open water. Theodore was nervous and a little excited to be so close to the wide open ocean, especially in a storm. Emily chugged determinedly right up to Carla. What are you doing out here? Emily called. Didn't you hear the radio warnings? I did, answered Carla. She sounded scared. And I left Rocky Point right away, but then I wasn't sure which way to turn. Well, come on, said Emily. I can't move, said Carla. Why not? Asked Theodore. I'm afraid of the storm, replied Carla. At that very moment, there was a big crack of thunder from somewhere behind the tugs. Oh, said Carla. Didn't you hear that? Aren't you scared? Sure, sometimes, said Theodore, but we just know that, well, we have to be extra careful around dangerous things. Then Emily had an idea. Carla, she said, hold onto our tow ropes. We'll pull you to safety. Are you sure you can? Asked Carla nervously. Of course we can, said Emily. We're tugboats. Pulling boats is what we do best. As soon as Carla felt the strong, solid tug of the two tow ropes, well, she felt a lot better. Wow, she said. Cool. Tugboats really are cool. Thank you, said Emily. You're still pretty cool yourself. Carla laughed. She sounded much more like her old self. Oh, I'm not cool, she said. I'm cold. Let's go home, pal. Okay, pal, said Emily with a big smile. Well, Carla never laughed at the rules again, or at the good work the tugs do. Do you think I should really go on a roller coaster ride with my friend Rob? Huh? I'll try practicing one more time, okay? Just one more. 1, 2, 3. You know what it is? I just don't want to go on a roller coaster ride. Rob's going to have to go without me. I could invite him over for some tea and sea biscuits, though, afterward. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Well, thanks for visiting here in the Big Harbor. And we'll see you all again next time. So long. But I know what I can use this stool for. Dusting. Very dusty up there. I'll get a little bit of cleaning until Rob comes.
He's a tugboat and a friendly tugboat too. A friendly tugboat too. Oh, Theodore likes to do the things that friendly tugboats do. Pushing and a pulling in the great big harbor, in the great big world is so much fun. So many brand new things to discover. Waking with the sun, gotta get the job done. Oh, Theodore and Emily, Old Hank and George and the harbor master.